All right, let's talk about reading. Today, we are going to completely transform the way you approach it. We're not just talking about collecting more information, we're talking about actually understanding it and making it stick, all based on the fantastic work of Craig Perry.
So let me ask you something and be honest. Think about the last really great nonfiction book you finished. You felt super smart, totally inspired, right? But a week later, could you actually explain the key arguments to someone? If you're like most of us, the answer is a big, fat, frustrating no.
And it's not because we aren't trying. We get caught in what you could call the information trap. We do all the things we're supposed to do. We get out our highlighters, we scribble notes in the margins. Some of us even rewrite pages and pages of notes. And it feels so productive, doesn't it? But for all that effort, the knowledge just vanishes.
To give you an idea of how crazy this can get, the author of our source material, Craig Perry, he once wrote 70,000 words of notes. 70,000 words from just 3 philosophy books. And you know what he said he learned after all that? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It was all just busy work.
So here's the big reveal. The problem isn't how hard we're working. It's our entire mindset. See, most of us have a storage box mind. We treat knowledge like little trinkets to collect and just shove into a box. But the real game changer is adopting a garden mind. This is where you see knowledge as something alive, something you have to plant, water, and cultivate. So let's really dig into this idea, this huge shift in thinking. Your mind isn't a box, it's a garden. And this quote just nails it. We're not trying to create a neat, tidy list of facts. That's boring, and our brains forget it instantly. What we want is a complex, beautiful, interconnected spider's web. Because when ideas are connected, they have something to hold on to. Okay, so how do you build that web? It all starts with one simple thing: interest. Your brain at its core is a survival machine. It's designed to forget anything that doesn't seem important or relevant. But when you are genuinely curious about something, your brain lights up. It says, hey, this is important, and immediately starts connecting that new information to everything you already know. That's how you make it stick. And this idea leads us to a really active process, something we'll call the constant rebuild cycle. Because real learning, real reading, it's not passive. It's about constantly taking your understanding apart and putting it back together, stronger. You see, the point of reading a great book isn't just to memorize what the author said. The real value comes from using the author's ideas as raw material, like clay, to build, challenge, and then totally refine your own way of thinking. It's about personal transformation, not just information storage. And this is the engine that drives it all. It's a cycle. First, you build a rough mental model, basically a guess or a hypothesis about the topic. Then, as you read, you test that model against what the book is telling you. You find the holes, the weak spots, you evaluate it. And then you rebuild it, making it better and more accurate than before. You just keep repeating that loop. And there's a really cool psychological reason this works so well. It's called the hypercorrection effect. Our brains are literally wired to pay special attention when we find out we were confidently wrong about something. It's like our brain goes, whoa, I was so sure about that. I better lock this new information down. By building and breaking your own models, you're hacking your own memory. Okay, so we've got the why. That all sounds great, right? But what about the how? Let's get super practical with a simple 3-step framework you can start using today. The whole system breaks down into 3 easy stages: pre-learning, reading, and consolidation. Let's walk through each one. Step 1, pre-learning. Before you dive into chapter 1, just take 5 or 10 minutes to prime your brain. Seriously, that's all it takes. Flip through the book, look at the table of contents, scan the headings, look for bolded keywords. You're basically creating a mental map of the territory, which lets you form that first rough hypothesis you're going to start testing. All right, step 2, the actual reading. And here is the single most important rule you need to remember. Your goal is not to get through the chapter. Your goal is comprehension. You're not a machine trying to hit a page count. You're a gardener looking for seeds of insight that will help your ideas grow. So when do you stop reading and start thinking? Here are your cues. You pause anytime you feel confused. You pause when you feel overwhelmed. You pause the second you notice your mind wandering. And you should probably pause every 10 to 15 minutes anyway, just to check in. These pauses are not a break from the work. They are the work. And this is just so important to remember. All those tools, the highlighters, the note-taking apps, the mind maps, they are there to help you think,
not to be the thinking. The real heavy lifting happens inside your head. Highlighting a sentence feels good, but it lets us skip the much harder, much more valuable internal work of truly wrestling with an idea. And finally, step 3, consolidation. This is how you make sure all that hard work actually sticks around. And the ultimate test of whether you understand something is, can you teach it? If you can't explain an idea simply, you haven't really understood it yet. A killer tool for this is the Feynman technique. It's so simple. Just try to explain your mental model, that spider's web of knowledge you've been building, out loud. Pretend you're talking to a total beginner. I promise you, this process will instantly shine a giant spotlight on all the gaps, the fuzzy parts, and the things you need to go back and figure out. So, when you put it all together, the ultimate goal becomes incredibly clear. We need to read to truly understand.
I mean, just look at the difference here. The old way is all about memorizing facts, taking those endless linear notes, and just focusing on getting through pages. It's passive. It's the storage box. The new way? It's all about understanding, building those flexible mental models, and focusing on comprehension. It's active. It's creative. It's the garden.
So that really leaves us with one last big question, and it's a choice you have to make every single time you pick up a book. Are you going to read to collect, to be an information hoarder with a box full of facts you'll just forget? Or are you going to read to transform, to be a gardener who uses every new idea to cultivate a deeper, richer, and more connected understanding of the world? The choice is all yours.